Time for a little overtime. Make your way through the factory. The loading bay is your only way in.
Welcome back to Let's Play Manhunt. Once again, we've lost some weapons and some time. But it's a fair trade for getting rid of the tramp, I'd say.
Show yourself! And La Cabra Negra will open her heart to you.
Right away, we are expected to invoke a firefight. So let's not tarry.
Just keep on adding to the body toll. Do your thing.
That cues the guys off in the distance to come running. And for where we're standing, it's basically random whether a shot will instantly kill them or do no damage at all. We got pretty lucky there. Let's look at the hollow head we left behind. It's one of my favorite things in Manhunt. Headshots are unbelievably satisfying in this game. And off in the distance there seems to be the factory he mentioned. And this should be the loading bay.
Well, that's put a spanner in the works. Why don't you try the guard hut?
I can think of about 5 reasons not to try the guard hut.
It's over.
We don't have a choice, though. The cover in this area is atrocious. Not to mention that they have a tactical advantage and a huge advantage in numbers. And as I mentioned, the shotgun, completely random at this range. So this is a very difficult firefight. You have to take it very slowly if you want any hope of survival. Unless you count the shots that guy fires. Once he's blown to, you can dive right in. That's your only shot for safe action, though. The rest of this fight is won in inches and in damage. To yourself. That's why there's painkillers lying around everywhere.
Way to go, Cash. Now make your way through the factory. For a job well done, make your way to the foyer.
Well, with a commute that bad, I can't wait to see the workday. Make sure there's no one waiting right around the corner there. Okay, the van seems to imply that we're safe. But for some reason that guy heard us. It's unfair that he comes running, but at least we're tipped off by the music. It's not quite a Hood's level ambush.
I ain't hearing things. I ain't.
And that very rightfully summons the rest of the contents of that building. But this guard hut becomes a very nice place to take advantage of them. It's all shadowy, and it has peepholes to get headshots from. But we've been spotted. I broke off from him, which means we can actually commit an execution. It's been a while since we've been able to get a home run. There we go, soften his head up nicely. Finished it with a curb stomp. That at long last should almost allow us to safely enter the building. More guys randomly summoned in. They're just behind those boxes there, which is very unfortunate for them. Now they're dealt with. If we were to have stepped around that corner, we'd been blown away by a pair of shotguns. And I will say, a lot of the time, that propane tank doesn't quite hit both guys. Sometimes neither.
Ah, damn it. The lift's screwed again. You're gonna have to go down to the basement. There's a circuit breaker down there that'll get the lift working.
Well, I didn't see anyone in that little preview video, so maybe this will be a little easier than everything we've seen so far.
You just inspired me, Cash. Really have.
Okay, so they filled up the basement while we weren't looking.
Beware! We're screwed, man!
But if we pop people off safely from up here, let's just see how many of these rabbit holes are open. Okay, just the one. So that's, I guess, the only kill we're gonna get from safety. Some guy down there keeps spotting our legs. Can't quite get a shot on that guy. We're gonna have to actually enter the basement if we wanna get through this. Okay, that guy is walking away.
Are you calm? Yeah, I'm calm. Calm as glass, calm as glass.
Your flesh reeks of corruption!
Step it up a little. Give me some rage, for Christ's sakes.
I'm plenty pissed off, but can't take too much action on that account. Just too outnumbered and outgunned.
I see you.
At least two guys still left. And now they've seen the new body, they alert the third.
Come on this way! Todos regresamos a la tierra!
All of them have guns, one's got a shotgun.
The voice is giving me nothing.
Blue or red?
Blue or red? Simple question. Blue or...
Now the way things are going, if we loop around, should be able to catch the third guy who's not quite out of alert yet. Ah, an oldie but a goodie. We've just about achieved parity with the innocents. But that's not good enough when they've got guns.
I don't know, Mr. Buddy. I should stay here and keep watch.
Sound cues are always going to group them together because the area is so small.
I can see your grinning bones from here.
Since there's so few left,
Run, rabbit! Run, run, run!
should just take him out with the gun. Ooh, didn't mean to do that.
You know what? I think this big scrappy fight in the open thing works well.
Pretty sure the director was trying to insult us for our lack of stealth, but clearly it did work well. Oh, whoops, no time for stealth.
Nice one, Cash. The lift should be working now.
Oh boy, the lift. The baseball bat is no longer going to do it. We're gonna need the shotgun and a lot of shells. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, filling the basement with bodies was the easy part. As we make our way into the rafters, things are going to get gruesome. We won't be able to achieve any more executions the rest of this stage. Gun executions were introduced in the second Manhunt game, but they were all either just the main character shooting a guy in the head, which we're doing anyway, or something so ridiculous and preposterous that it really didn't make any sense to be doing it at all. Just another bad idea for Manhunt 2. That guy didn't know what hit him. So as we step out onto the catwalk, we get a very important checkpoint, because we can see that there is no visual cover up here.
I should stay here and keep watch.
And there's a lot of guys. Oh, are there a lot of guys? We can't do the old cover shooting. Going back for health is futile. This catwalk is complete bullshit. Whether or not you make it through is basically a roll of the dice, once again. This time the odds are stacked way outside of our favor. So you want to be careful here. Guys can pop up down in that lower area. If that's clear, maybe we can make use of that later.
With their dirty, innocent looks, making me
Before we're spotted and bring an entire world of innocents down on us, maybe we can snipe a guy in advance.
Right and wrong.
Now, from this distance, the inaccuracy of the gun itself makes whether or not the headshot actually lands, once again, completely random. So that didn't do it. Maybe we can lure someone back here. Oh, now the downstairs guys will come for us. That guy did a suicidal charge right up to us to deal as much damage with his shotgun as possible. They can win a war of attrition, and they're just crazy enough to do it. And another guy has brought himself downstairs, taking pot shots at us. And we're down again. Really, the only key to this area is foreknowledge. We have that now from dying twice. I've never mentioned that you can save at checkpoints. If you're going for 5 stars, you absolutely have to save at that checkpoint, because you are far from guaranteed victory here. So what you pretty much have to do is pick out this guy, single him out, and eliminate him. Because he'll come over by himself. He won't draw the rest of the crowd with him. One of the lower level guys may or may not pop their head out. And indeed they have. But he popped back in. So we can take out this guy. Get the painkillers at the last possible moment. And as hideously as that went, it was actually best case scenario. Those guys in the tube down below are behind bulletproof glass, so we're safe from them for the time being. There's one more bit of foreknowledge we need to act upon. There's a guy firing at us across the way there. We need to take him out, or else he will kill us later on in the stage. But with his shotgun, he can't harm us at all. So we finally made all of the necessary preparations to move down to the bottom level.
Nothing. What else did I expect, huh? There's something not right about all this.
If there happens to be a guy down there when we jump down, he will instantly kill us. But there isn't. Gonna need to clear that balcony before we try and go through the tube. Okay, that was easy enough. And that worked out. And finally, we are safe. This whole time since we've been using guns, we've been trained that headshots are the most satisfying and most efficient way to deal with things. We've been banned from using them this entire stage.
I told you you're gonna have to use the panel in the control room to open the door.
And frustratingly enough, the panel is on the other side of that bulletproof glass. It's just insult on insult in this area. Here's the exact moment where that guy would unload an entire round of shotgun shells on us. Probably wouldn't instantly kill us, but it would weaken us sufficiently to be taken out in the next area. We would want those painkillers down there, but if we continue to explore the shaft, find painkillers up here, and a secret room with more painkillers.
I don't think we made too many friends. Hell, I like you. These guys.
We're gonna need all those painkillers. We have never seen that many guys on the map at one time before.
I want my blood!
They won't open the doors, but we have to leave if we're gonna kill them. So very carefully using whatever cover we can.
It's a feisty piece of meat, make no mistake.
Got lucky with the shotgun spread off the enemy there. Here's the control room.
Here's making noises without...
And this one guard is too slow to do anything about it.
That's my leading man, attaboy. See you with some beers outside.
Oh, phenomenal, more guys piling in. Coming right for us.
Dog breath!
Oh, I don't know why the headshot didn't go off there. And I can't switch guns while reloading. Wow. Switching to the pistol there almost killed me. But fortunately, there's painkillers everywhere. So this lobby is safe at least. Now we could start blasting our way downstairs into the exit. With what they just put us through, I'm not leaving a single goddamn innocent alive.
Party, what a surprise.
Yeah, by bobbing and weaving as you approach someone, you can usually avoid their fire. There's the vent we could have gone through, and the door with the chairs stacked up behind it. We alerted the guys downstairs by slamming that door. They better not take a step closer or that Sprunk machine's gonna get it. You may recall Sprunk from the Grand Theft Auto games. No more Sprunk here, though. So we're gonna have to switch to the pistol down here. It's the only thing with enough range to... You can sort of take advantage of the revolver's maximum range to isolate an individual. You can also do this back and forth motion to get within minimum range with your shots, but outside of maximum range for theirs. You learn a lot of tricks after dying a few hundred times on this stage. Only one guy remains. And there we go. The entire gang done for. Never again will they terrorize Carcer City. And here's the warehouse area that we first set foot in when we entered.
What the
Get
fuck?
to bed. Now. Move. You heard the man.
And the van we knocked on before entering has picked us up and carted us away. So that was Graveyard Shift. Quite a miserable hodgepodge of a level. It did finally put the innocents behind us, and all the better for it. That made a strong case for driving the gunplay segments of the game right into the ground. If they use that as an example, I can see why a lot of people would complain about them. It's unfortunate, really. I do like the gunplay in this game, but that stage really makes a bad case for it. In general, I believe the innocents, the entire section that they inhabit, to be basically a dumping ground for all the half-baked ideas that they came up with during development. In fact, if we check the concept art, it includes an image of the skull-painted innocents, who make up the majority of the gang, and it's all well and good. You can see the roots of the design there. What's really interesting is what's scribbled in the corner. It says, Horseman with a question mark, as though this was originally going to be designed as a Revelation-style apocalypse gang, that they only got as far as designing death and then sort of gave up. It's interesting that the religious aspect, the Satan worshipping, seemed to have made its way into the final gang, but nothing else did. We can also see that the doll-faced members of the gang have no particular correlation with the skull-faced ones. The Innocents also have the only 2 scenes in the game that can be 5-starred without getting a single execution in them, this one and View of Innocence, which further goes to show how poorly they fit into Manhunt. Things will be getting more cohesive, although much less rational, as we move away from the Innocents and onto the happiest place in Carcer City.